At first glance, it was an ordinary family. Camilla and Charlie have been living together for many years, and everything seemed fine. Warm conversations, love, and understanding. They have a son. They discuss the family budget over family dinners and go on a yearly seaside vacation. Surprisingly, Camilla has great relations with her mother-in-law who takes care of them. Tamara, the mother-in-law, adores their son, Kolia, but the relationship between Charlie and Camilla's mom is not so great. They had a disagreement a long time ago at Camilla's mom's house when they were sitting at the table and arguing about gender roles and responsibilities. Camilla's mom often says, "The most important thing in a family is love. When there's love, everything becomes easier." She also emphasizes the importance of respect and understanding. These talks always irritated Camilla. Why should she help her? She can manage her own affairs. Camilla's mom didn't react to Charlie's irritated tone, but she gets very tired, juggling work and all the household chores. "Son, you could help her with cleaning or cooking on weekends. You can make your signature pilaf or something else. She's so exhausted, it hurts to see her like that." But Charlie insisted, "So I work even on my day off. I'm a man. You shouldn't tell me what to do. I'll figure it out myself." Charlie suggested, "We're fine without you. We'll manage. Don't stick your nose into other people's business. Focus on your husband and your own relationships." Camilla remained silent. Her husband didn't back down. After all, he was the head of the family. One day during a regular family dinner, Charlie said, "Dear, what do you need to do at my mom's? Do you want to sit with retirees, where her friends mostly engage in silly conversations about pensions, knees, and rising prices in stores? I'll quickly congratulate her on her birthday and give her the gift you bought for her the other day. I'll drop by for a short visit, greet her, and leave. That's it. And you were planning to visit your mom-in-law, so there's no need to cancel the trip." Camilla was a bit taken aback, but expressed her concerns. "Charlie, I don't understand why you don't want me to go with you to your mom's. We don't have good relations." I bought her a heartfelt gift, that teapot with cups and Chinese tea. Remember, she once saw Chinese tea ceremonies on TV and talked about them so enthusiastically. She was so inspired that I thought it would be a great gift. She could have tea ceremonies at home with her friends, and imagine her reaction when we give her this set. I want to make her happy, but Charlie was unyielding. He continued to argue his point. "She'll be happy anyway, and you wanted to spend these weekends with your mom, so go." Charlie was clearly withholding something, and Camilla felt guilty towards her mother-in-law. What would she think if Camilla didn't come? They always visited her with pleasure. And why was her husband behaving like this? He previously mentioned that his mom didn't plan to celebrate her birthday due to high blood pressure, and Camilla had already bought a train ticket to visit her. And now it turns out the celebration is happening after all. "Okay, I'm going," says Charlie. "You go to your mother. I'll go to mine. Send my regards. Well, that's it. I kiss you. Goodbye." Camilla sat there, somewhat shocked. He just went on his own, settled everything, and left. And his excuses were strange. What secrets does he have? It feels like he's lying or not telling the whole truth, but she couldn't understand why or for what reason. Camilla sat alone, contemplating their life. Indeed, something had changed recently. Her husband often went on business trips, and there was no longer the passion and former love they once shared. He hadn't hugged or kissed her in a long time. They didn't even go on vacation this year. Thoughts about her mother-in-law's birthday were bothering her. What if she went there spontaneously? Tamara would surely be delighted to see her. Maybe she could surprise both her and her husband. Camilla opened the closet, put on her most beautiful dress, and went to do her makeup and hairstyle. She decided to appear at the birthday party unexpectedly and with makeup. On the way, she stopped by the flower shop and bought a large bouquet of pink chrysanthemums, which her mother-in-law loved, and maybe her blood pressure would immediately normalize, and the flowers would stand in the vase for a long time, reminding her of Camilla. Laughter and the clinking of glasses echoed from Tamara's apartment. So there were guests after all. Camilla confidently rang the doorbell. Tamara came out, and she was very surprised. She exclaimed, "Charlie said you wouldn't come. He said you went to your mom, but I'm glad your plans changed. I'm happy to see you. Happy birthday." Camilla cheerfully shouted. "1 minute. Please subscribe to my channel because 99% of viewers watch my videos without subscribing. Thank you. Many years of life to you, happiness, laughter, smiles, many warm and joyful days, and no more pressure. Camilla handed the birthday girl a magnificent bouquet, and the elderly woman was thrilled. How beautiful. Camilla, you really know how to surprise. Yes, I did my best for you, Camilla smiled. And how did you like the set for the Chinese tea ceremony? I chose it for a long time. Tamara was not aware of any tea set and widened her eyes. Camilla whispered, well, the set that Charlie brought you as a gift. It's actually here. Tamara still didn't understand what was happening. She responded in surprise, I haven't seen Charlie today. I don't know about any tea set you're talking about. He called me, congratulated me, and said there's an urgent meeting at work, so he won't be able to come. You came. Come in. I'm so glad. Camilla was puzzled. He didn't tell me anything about it. He said he would come in the evening. Also, he mentioned that you have high blood pressure. How are you feeling? Tamara waved her hand. Yes, everything is fine with my pressure. You know how busy he is. His colleagues can't do anything without him. Incompetence, all relying on my son. That's why he often stays there after work. Camilla was a bit shocked. The puzzle pieces didn't fit. Then she just shrugged and replied, maybe something has really changed at their work, but I won't stay long. I have a train to my mom soon. Tamara firmly responded, your mom won't mind if you stay with us for a bit. We understand each other. She even called and congratulated me over the phone today. Camilla smiled and agreed, all right, but just for half an hour because I'm afraid I won't make it. Besides, I promised my mom. She's a bit unwell. I also wanted to stop by the pharmacy and the store to get some medicine and lemons for tea. Tamara hugged Camilla and said, come in and we'll figure things out. You'll sit, have a meal, and chat a bit. Camilla drank champagne, ate, smiled, but all her thoughts were about her husband's sudden activities and how strangely he had been behaving since the morning. The invented blood pressure seemed unnecessary. She called Charlie several times, but he didn't pick up. Then she called her mom, made sure everything was okay, and said she wouldn't come today. Charlie immediately called back, Camilla, why did you keep calling? I'm on my way home from my mom's, just as I told her. It was boring there. I couldn't stand it. So I left after half an hour. And how did you manage to reach your mom so quickly? Camilla couldn't believe what was happening, but decided to play along. Yes, I'll be there soon. Just stop by the store for honey and lemons. I'm at the checkout now. Charlie sighed. Well, that's good. Say hi. All right, I'm almost home. Bye. Now Camilla was sure he was up to something. An unpleasant scene awaited her at home. Camilla entered and saw women's and children's shoes in the hallway. Charlie was having tea in the kitchen. He saw her at the door and quickly stood up. Camilla, what are you doing here? You went to your mom for the weekend. Camilla looked at the people present with disbelief and replied, I didn't go to my mom, but I did stop by to congratulate Tamara. What's going on here, Charlie? Who are these people? I didn't want you to find out this way. An obviously displeased woman interjected. My name is Isabella. Calm down, no need for a scene. I am your husband's wife, and this is our daughter Masha. We live in another city. He visits us there, but now it's time for Masha to go to school, and our city doesn't have small private schools. Charlie assured me that you wouldn't be here for a few days, so we decided to stay here for the weekend until Charlie finds us an apartment. Camilla couldn't believe her ears. Thoughts raced through her mind. Isabella, Masha. She felt as if she were losing consciousness, but the momentary weakness was replaced by fury, and she began to scream. What? I can't believe it. You dared to bring a mistress into my home. I am not a mistress. I am as much a wife as you are. We have a common child. There is no stamp in my passport stating he's my husband, but does it even matter? I have all the rights, and I want to spend more time with him, and you too. And Masha keeps asking where her dad is. So we are moving to your city, and soon we'll be living here closer to Charlie, so Masha can see her biological father. Camilla was ready to explode. The child is at camp now, but she'll be back soon, and I had no idea about your existence. He didn't tell me anything. I'm in shock, not fully understanding if this is a dream or reality. Charlie understood that he couldn't hide anything anymore. He had to somehow calm them down. He began to justify himself. Camilla, I'll explain everything to you. I had no other choice. I didn't want you two to meet. Right now, I feel like I'm between two worlds. Yes, we had a connection many years ago, you understand. I haven't paid child support all this time. I am her biological father. I owe her help. It's my duty as a father. I just wanted them to stay for a couple of days. Then I'll find them an apartment. His deliberately calm tone had no effect on Camilla, and she continued to shout, "In my house. What will we tell our child? Who are you after this? You lied to me and cheated all this time. I didn't want to stay here overnight myself. Your place is a mess everywhere, and it reeks of cutlets as soon as you enter the house. No repairs have been done for decades. The landlady apparently doesn't take care of the house. It's disgusting for me to be here." I told him about it immediately. He could have rented a decent hotel for a couple of days. We don't come here often, you know. Camilla wanted to confront her rival, but then she saw Charlie looking bewildered. "Get out of here. They still dare to insult me. Go away," Camilla shouted, pushed them out of the hallway and slammed the door. Then she went to the room, sat on the bed, and cried, covering her face with her hands. Tears flowed uncontrollably from her eyes. It hurt so much, and she felt so betrayed. Behind the door, the woman's screams and the clarification of relationships between her and Charlie echoed. She kept shouting and shouting, but the words were indistinguishable. Then the lock turned, and footsteps were heard. Camilla lifted her head and looked out. It was Charlie. "I came for the money. Don't worry, I'll leave now. I need the money to rent them an apartment." Camilla widened her eyes. "What money?" "Our shared money." "Have you completely lost your mind? How will I pay for our son's boxing lessons? We need money for school and groceries. And why should I give away our money? Don't touch them." Charlie scornfully said, "You're such a nasty woman, Camilla. I told you there's nothing between us. Yes, it happened, but it's in the past. Now we have a daughter. It's just my old mistake. Put yourself in my shoes. It's already tough for me. You're still my wife." To this, Camilla confidently replied, "No, I can't. These are your problems. I don't trust you anymore. What am I to you after all of this? I want a divorce." Charlie waved his hand and slammed the door. Throughout the weekend, Camilla focused on household chores. She didn't understand what would happen next and how to behave. In the evenings, she cried bitterly and couldn't sleep at night. She just couldn't fall asleep. She thought about her marriage, her husband, the other woman, and everything that happened during these days. Her husband didn't show up over the weekend, didn't even call. She didn't call either. She thought, what's the point of calling him, begging him to come back, forgiving him? He left with that woman and their daughter. He betrayed his family. On Sunday, right after the birthday celebration when the guests left, her son arrived. He told her that he had collided with another car and now had to pay for the repairs. Tamara offered to help and provided the necessary amount. Then she had a bunch of tasks and meetings, and as soon as she freed up on Sunday, she immediately began calling her son to ask how things were, but he didn't answer. Camilla didn't hide anything and decided to tell her mother-in-law the whole truth. She told that Charlie deceived her, brought another woman home, and that her mother-in-law now has another granddaughter. The mother-in-law was in shock. She didn't immediately believe these words. "Another granddaughter? What are you talking about? Charlie is an honest family man." "No, my son is not like that," Camilla smirked. "You may not believe me, but it happened. Your decent son had an affair, and they have a child together. I saw them together." "Camilla, I don't know what happened, but I promise I'll talk to him and figure everything out. Everything will be sorted." Tamara was very concerned, but the conversation was concluded. She couldn't do anything because the fact remained. Her husband had an affair with another woman and lived with two families, and he even had a daughter. The child is not to blame, but Charlie. How could he do this? On Monday morning, the treacherous husband came home, changed into a clean suit, and was getting ready for work as if nothing had happened. He grabbed something from the stove and was about to leave when an irritated Camilla saw him. "And can't you cook for yourself? And why did you throw dirty clothes into the laundry? I'm not going to do your laundry and cook for you. Go to your new wife, let her take care of you." Charlie didn't expect such words from Camilla. The only thing left for him was to start yelling at her. "Why are you so angry early in the morning? Charlie realized that continuing the conversation was pointless and quickly left. And Camilla cried again, and then her mom called. She was already aware of all the events. "Camilla, what's happening there? I'm so worried. Colia will be upset about his father. Think about it. Maybe you two will sit down and talk calmly." Camilla sighed. Her mom, "What to talk about? He left for her. They lived together. He doesn't care about our family since he treated us this way." Camilla's mom expressed a new version almost imploringly. "Camilla, maybe he does not care. Maybe this woman bewitched him, enchanted him." But Camilla was adamant. "He doesn't look bewitched. And the son is already 12 years old, not a little kid anymore." She was sure you would understand everything correctly. Camilla was determined. "Family? And what? He has a sister." Colia, though not a little kid anymore, was very upset with Dad. And then he spent the whole evening in his room playing computer games. The next day, Camilla and Colia went to their beloved grandmother as soon as Tamara opened the door. Her grandson spoke up. "Grandma, have you heard what happened? Our dad is cheating. Mom says he brought some rag into the house. I hate him." Tamara tried to tell her grandson that children shouldn't talk like that, and he's still his father. Everyone makes mistakes in life. "Camilla, why are you silent? Why is he saying such things about his father? You can't talk like that," added Tamara. The grandmother said the following words: "Colia, Dad will come to his senses and come back to you, and everything will be as before, you'll see," she said, treating Colia to tea with homemade cake. Suddenly, Camilla pulled her mother-in-law into another room and began a serious conversation. "Why are you saying such things? Why are you giving him hope? It will never be like before. He deceived me, cheated on me, and has an illegitimate daughter. Would you tolerate such a thing? And if you heard what his mistress said, she spoke ill of me." Tamara confidently said, "Camilla, you've been married for many years. You have a son, a family. I think you need to talk to Charlie. I went to their rented place and I saw him. I wanted to talk to him. He's making a mistake, and I wanted to convince him of that." Camilla widened her eyes. "And so what? I talked to her. It's true, but she is not only arrogant and too self-assured, she's just rude. I asked her to leave and not destroy your family. Nobody will benefit from this adversity, as you can't build happiness on someone else's misfortune. She insulted me and said that they would figure it out without my precious advice." She pointed to the door, Camilla said, expressing her curiosity. "And what does he say?" asked Camilla. Sadly sighing, Tamara added, "Nothing. He's offended, says that you didn't even want to listen and understand. He says he tried to talk to you about everything, but you didn't respond." "Camilla," she snorted, "look at him, how touchy. He even makes himself out to be a victim. Dragged another family into our home. He hid this from me for several years and blames me." The conversation ended with nothing again. Tamara was upset and begged Camilla not to jump to conclusions and to meet her husband halfway. Camilla just remained silent. Returning home to an empty apartment, there was a feeling that something was missing. Everything was not the same as before. The family idyll was disrupted, and perhaps Camilla and Charlie would never live together again. But the woman did not yet know that a surprise awaited her in a few days. Charlie came for the weekend and with a smirk told Camilla, "Hello. Don't be surprised, but I'll be living here. This is my home too, and I have the right. And you got what you wanted. You and Mom succeeded in making me leave. Now I'll file for child support for all these years. Are you satisfied now?" Camilla calmly replied, "No, and don't put the blame on me. You are to blame for everything. Was it me who went on constant business trips and had a good time there? Did I bring a daughter into this world? Have I been lying all these years? No, it was you." Charlie continued to shout at the woman, "And you act like a saint. You didn't listen to me, didn't understand, and didn't support." She sighed and said, "I'm guilty again. Let's finish this conversation. It will lead to nothing. I'll file for child support and I won't tolerate this." But Charlie won't stop. "You've shown your true colors, and I didn't know you were like that. Don't expect any child support. I don't want to see you, and I don't want to stay here. I'd rather go to Mom's. Come on, go. Don't forget to tell everyone what an unhappy and awful wife you are. I hope she'll take you in for a while, and we'll sell the apartment and file for divorce." Charlie was still shouting some insults and went into another room. He didn't come out until morning. Early in the morning, he left for his mother's. Tamara wasn't too happy to see him and asked what he had done. But she let him in. After all, he was her son, her only son. Son, what have you done? How did this happen? Maybe the marriage can still be saved. I understand that it was a long time ago and hasn't happened again. You haven't cheated on Camilla anymore. Just one slip. Mom, I don't want to lie to you. No, it wasn't just once. We're still in a relationship, Charlie replied. Tamara shook her head with regret. I didn't want to believe this. I don't want to believe that my son is such a fool. And what are you going to do? Tamara asked. I'm thinking of moving in with you. I don't want to leave my wife. It was convenient that they lived in different cities. Besides, I'd often have business trips there. I need them both. That's why you can't have two families. Tamara wasn't ready to give up. Son, are you out of your mind? What are you doing? We don't have a tradition of having multiple wives, and there's nothing to be proud of in that. You need to beg Camilla for forgiveness and go back home. You've disappointed me. I don't feel well. Maybe my blood pressure went up. Tamara went to take her medicine. She didn't expect this from her son, who was once an exemplary and obedient boy. Several weeks passed and Charlie had been living with his mother. During this time, she tried to reason with him, but he didn't yield to her persuasions, and after a few weeks, he took leave from work and went to the city where his new wife and daughter lived. They started living together. Charlie called his mother from the other city. He was just starting a new life. Camilla struggled with the divorce. How many tears were shed in her mother's kitchen? Tamara's heart was broken. She couldn't cope with it, no matter how hard she tried. As people say, time heals, and that's what happened with Camilla. Over time, her emotional wound healed and became less pronounced. She tried to live for her son, worked, and learned to enjoy life again. Days turned into weeks, and there was no trace of their past family life. Charlie paid child support and visited his son, asking, "How are you, son? What's new with you?" "Everything is normal. I work, live, and raise my daughter," the son replied. "And how about you?" Charlie answered, "Ever since we started living together, we've been arguing. Either I bring home too little money, or I don't help with the household, or I don't spend enough time with our daughter." Tamara laughed. "You never did anything before. Camilla did everything for you." Charlie responded irritably. "She's to blame herself. She stopped taking care of herself. There was nothing to look at. And now she complains that her husband is bad." Tamara widened her eyes in surprise. "What are you saying? Camilla is a wonderful wife. Why did you start a new family?" "I like her. She's a sweetheart." Charlie sharply replied, "She's impulsive, but open, says what she thinks right away. I like that about her. And Camilla is silent, endures, chews on her grievances. Such a wife." Tamara responded in disbelief. "You don't understand what you're saying. Live with your new wife, and you'll see that she's not meant for family life. You can have fun with her, take her to bed, but what kind of wife is she? Does she cook for you? Are you not hungry?" Charlie sighed and hurried to end the conversation. "I'm not hungry." "Okay, I need to go. Goodbye, son," and Tamara sighed and hung up. Throughout this time, Tamara maintained a friendship with Camilla not only because they shared Kolya, but also because she genuinely liked her. They grew even closer. In return, Camilla became even more attached to her mother-in-law. Tamara had always been kind to her. She would listen, feed her, and provide advice. A very warm and wise woman, Camilla enjoyed visiting her and engaging in conversations. Tamara shared all the news about her friends, and of course about Camilla's ex-husband. Camilla had heard from Tamara more than once that they had arguments with his new wife. Once, his new wife caught Charlie at home with another woman. She unexpectedly came home and found them in the bedroom. That's when she kicked him out. The neighbor wasn't interested in anything serious with him and didn't allow him into her life. Charlie was left alone. Camilla felt a sense of relief. Not because Camilla's personal life wasn't going well, but because she now knew for sure that the problem wasn't with her. He sought adventures elsewhere, was never satisfied. If even such a young and beautiful woman couldn't keep him, then the modest homemaker Camilla even more so. Camilla didn't share these thoughts with her mother-in-law, and she probably understands everything herself. She's a very intelligent woman, thought Camilla as she went to put the kettle on. She contemplated the possibility of having a husband again, maybe even more than one. Life brings various experiences. Such a wonderful mother-in-law is hard to come by. Thank you for listening to the story until the end. Please support the channel with a like. It won't take much effort for you, but it means a lot to me. Until we meet again.